Welcome back everybody to another exciting edition of Let's Play Crusader Kings 2. As always, I'm your host J John Jeremy, and last we left off, I had given you guys the full introduction and a briefing on what Crusader Kings was about. We went over pretty much all the buttons I can think of. It's time to go ahead and start this game playing as Scotland in 1066. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set our council. I already talked about what the council does. We want to go ahead and have our chancellor try to fabricate claims for us. And I want him to fabricate claims in this little island right over here. This is called the Isle of Man. And the Isle of Man is an independent area right now, headed by a very old individual. It is headed by Earl Godfred of the Isle of Man. The reason I want to go for this piece of territory here is that because it's alone, it's a prime target for us. And the other reason is the fact that because this individual is so old, his son may take over soon enough, and in fact his son works for another person. His son is in Galloway. He's the Count of Galloway, and Galloway is a vassal of this guy right here, Duke Goodrod of the Isles. So I would not like to see Duke Goodrod take this island, because that means he gets more territory and I don't. I am not a fan of this. So we're going to go ahead and send our Chancellor here to fabricate claims. Now, unfortunately, because our Chancellor is so weak in terms of diplomacy, he only has a 4.51 chance to actually get a claim fabricated. He also has a 4.06 chance to get the noble of the area infuriated. But we must take that chance anyway. For our Marshal here, Earl Dub of Fife, I want to go ahead and have him research military technology in my capital. If we ever go to war, I will easily just send him to train troops in our capital so we can get that bonus in levy size and reinforcement. Our steward here, Girogi, I'm going to go ahead and have him research economic technology. And our spy master, Eric de Fortevoix, is going to go ahead and uncover plots in our capital to see if anybody's trying to kill me, my sons, or anything that's really going on inside of it. He'll be able to try and at least have an attempt at discovering said plot. And our court chaplain, Bishop Eric, is going to go ahead and research cultural technology in our capital. You want to go ahead and focus on your capital, because that's the thing that's not going to change hands. When your heir inherits, the capital is going to be the same, unless you change it. So you want to focus on what's going to be always going to be yours, no matter what. So we've got all set with our Chancellor, with our council. Now we want to go ahead and find a wife. That was step 2 for us here. And the game gives you a button to go ahead and arrange a marriage with what it deems to be suitable women for us. However, I don't follow that. The reason I don't follow that is because it doesn't show me everybody. I like to go into this character tab here and have the game tell me all the women in the game that are suitable for marriage. So I tell it to go search for women who are not in prison, who are not married, and who are of my religion. And these are all the women. And let's go ahead and just search by their stat here and, see what they have here for us. Agnes here is the top diplomat with 23. She is a Graminance. She's gregarious, craven, trusting, and ambitious. She's a courtier in Tyrol. Okay. What I'm also looking for is I'm looking for genetic traits that pass down from the parents to the children. One example of which is attractive. That's a +1 diplomatic trait. Another example, although a bad one, would be ugly. This is a -1 diplomatic trait. There are both good genetic traits and bad genetic traits. This is the worst. Inbred. You never want to have an inbred child. It's like a death kiss. Quick is a good one. I'm not seeing anything here I'm fond with right now. Let's go ahead and move on to Marshal. Top person is 23 once again, although they are a lunatic. Not a good idea to marry a lunatic. Just, FYI on that. Rosa here is strong. She's an elusive shadow, but she is celibate. You do not want to marry a celibate person, obviously, because they will not give you children, and that is what this game is all about. The kids. It's about the kids. Adriana here is very good in diplomacy, martial, and learning skills, but she is orthodox. So stewardship. Yaroslava. Yaroslava is attractive, Midas touched, temperate, lustful, and kind. 10, 9, 20, 6, and 8. That's not a bad stat line, actually. She's orthodox, but I might take the hit on that just to get those stats and that attractive thing right there. I'm looking for what is known as genius. I'm looking for a genius to be my wife. Like, for example, Philippa. Philippa here is a genius, but she's also celibate, which sucks. But that gives you a +2 stat in everything. That's the stat I want to. That's the trait I want to pass down to my kids. Genius. Let's try Spy Master, or Intrigue rather. There's attractive. Here's a genius right here. She is a skilled tactician. She is deceitful, slothful, gregarious, and patient. With an okay stat line. Helga. Not seeing much anything else. They're strong, and I saw a quick there. Let's take a look at learning. This person has a lisp. This person's a hunchback. Not finding anything great here. Strong. Mastermind theologian. Duelist. Gregarious. Patient. Paranoid. Lustful. Jolanta here is not a bad choice. We'll keep her in mind. The other way to pick your wife is through rank. As you can see here, the highest person, the highest ranking individual we can marry is Matilda, the Duchess of Toscana. She is a charismatic negotiator, she is diligent, she is patient, she is zealous, and she is just. That is actually a pretty good person to have as a wife. I might just skip that genetic trait this time around. Hey, hey Matilda. What's up? How you doing? You're 20 as well, so you're gonna be with me for a while. Hey Kaiser, how would you feel about arranging a marriage between myself and no. This is no. Where was she, Matilda? Arrange marriage between ourselves and Matilda. No! She just flat out said no. Sometimes that happens. She was like, no, not interested. You bitch. God damn it. Okay, so let's see what else we can find here. Damn, that's a good one too. It shows children here as well because obviously when the children come of age, they will have, you know, their own stats and skills. Yeah, Jolanta again. Jolanta keeps showing up. Alright, Jolanta. How about you? We'll talk to your liege. How would you like to arrange a marriage between me and Jolanta? Ouch. Okay. When I talked about marrying by rank, here's the reason why. When you marry, you have the opportunity to gain or lose prestige based upon who you marry. If we had married the Duchess of Toscana, that would probably have given us some prestige. But since we're not, and we're going to be marrying this person, Jolanta, we're actually going to be losing 80 prestige because we are marrying a simple courtier. She's not a commoner, thank God, but she's pretty damn close. But we're going to go ahead and marry her anyway. Because I don't care. We can always build back prestige. Yes. Okay. Excuse me for 1 second, guys. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. Okay, so what was I doing? Yes, Jolanta. So I've married Jolanta now. We won't have to worry about a wife. And once Jolanta comes to our court, I will have my sons go under her tutelage. Right now, they're being tutored by Murdoch de Dundee, but Murdoch, if I took a look at my court, Murdoch here is not as good as my wife, my soon-to-be wife. No. Plus, he's an impaler. I don't want my children to be learning impaling. Not a good idea. So, when she comes, we will change her to be the children's tutor, and hopefully she will have my children in the future. More children for me is a good thing. We're also going to go ahead and start on a grand hunt. Grand hunts will give us more prestige, which is important because I just wasted a lot of it in getting married to a commoner. Fun times. And that was about it. And I'll just go ahead and build something here in our capital. We're going to go ahead and start on a wooden palisade. That would increase the levy size of our troops, the tax income, and our fort level in case anybody tried to actually take my capital. I doubt they would, but we built it up anyway. And we're just about set here. Everyone's opinion of me is good for now, so I will save my honorary titles for the time being. I will talk more about those when I have to use them. But in the meantime, let's start the official game, shall we? We want to keep an eye on what's going down here in England, because obviously, three-way match for the country. Okay, first event. I am out in the woods, and I see a mighty stag while my party is hunting. We can choose what are the odds, and gain 5 prestige. We can say to spare its majesty, and gain diplomacy for 1 diplomacy for 1 year. Or we can say it would look really good above my fireplace, and have a 75% chance of no effect, 10% chance of getting 1 marshal, and then a whole bunch of chances to getting wounded, maimed, or killed. And we would get a 1 marshal for 1 year. This game plays with you and likes to wound you. I highly doubt it's just a 10% chance. I've seen this happen too many times. I do not usually take chances that involve me getting hurt. I will say to spare its majesty and gain the +1 diplomacy and continue on. Alright, King Malcolm III and Jolanta have gotten married. We can collect a royal aid duty to pay for the ceremonies. So we can collect a tax, basically, and gain 6.56 gold. Or we can gain 50 prestige immediately. Since I just wasted all that prestige in marrying this woman, I might want to go ahead and gain it back by gaining 50 prestige. I will go ahead and do so. So she has now arrived at my court. Let's go ahead and have my children, who are being tutored by somebody else, be tutored by her. That makes the person who's doing the tutoring at this very moment angry at me, but who cares? He's only a courtier. He's not one of my vassals. Fantastic. To the magnificent King Malcolm III, may you live in harmony and contentment. I accept your suggestion that King Malcolm III and Jolanta get married. Fantastic. King Malcolm III of Scotland fulfilled the ambition to get married. So we need to go ahead and pick a new ambition. And, there are a bunch of ambitions available for us. Amass wealth is gaining 500 gold. Becoming a paragon of virtue is 500 piety. Becoming exalted amongst men is 1,000 prestige. And having a daughter is having a daughter. That's the easiest one to do because it just comes over time. We're going to go ahead and pick that for the time being. Just want to make sure that both my sons are... Yes, okay. Onward. So, Harald of Norway is sieging York. William is probably going to go ahead and go after the capital here. We have a message. Jolanta of Sildice wants to become spymaster. As I mentioned before, the only post that a woman can go into as your queen is spymaster, and she wants to become it. Her spymaster is at 11, and our current spymaster is at 12. Thus, we shall ignore her. The grand hunt is over for now. This was a truly noble endeavor and a true challenge for our martial abilities. We gained 10 prestige. That's basically what we're going to be doing for the first year. Just trying to gain prestige, because I wasted so much of it in this marriage. I keep saying that as if it was a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it does it does slow us down for a little bit. The sighthounds thirsted for blood this gentle afternoon, and they brought us many hares. This is a fine sport. Good, okay. While chasing an agile deer, my horse stumbled and broke its leg. Luckily, I was thrown off, but now my horse is in pain. We can either end his suffering ourselves and gain Merciful, or we gain the trait Slothful. You do not want the trait Slothful. It's -1 to all your stats. We will go ahead and pick End his suffering ourselves. The hounds were more alert this morning than I've ever seen before. Something stupendous must be awaiting us. 4 options here. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Gives us the trait Diligent and a 5% chance of being wounded. We can say my horse has a limp, and we can gain the trait of Craven, which is basically a coward. I don't care what it is, but we'll hunt it. A 25% chance of the hounds bringing down the child of a peasant, and we gain Ruthless until April, giving us +2 martial but -10 in church opinion. Important there. Or we can say, let's do this another day, and Mayor Patrick's opinion of us goes down by 15, and we also gain the trait Content. Because I do not have the trait... Oh, I do. Okay. Well, I do not like to lower my vassals' opinion of me. I do not want the trait of Ruthless because it lowers church opinion a lot. And I do not want the trait Craven. We're going to go ahead and pick this option. I already have the trait of Diligent, but it's the safest option for us. And I was wounded. Fantastic. Yes! When you're wounded, you lose 1 martial ability and 1 health. I cannot believe I was wounded with a 5% chance. Like I said, this game messes with you so many times, I cannot even begin to explain. Our hunting party has cornered a large bear. As you can see, I even have a scar above my right eye. Our hunting party has cornered a large bear. A small argument amongst the hunters regarding who should get to kill the bear has nearly turned into a brawl. We can say just solve it already and gain the trait of Wrath and 5 prestige, or we can say give me the bear spear, gain 15 prestige, and a chance of getting wounded. No, not again. Just solve it already. We already have the trait of Wrath, so we'll just gain the 5 prestige. Cannot believe I was wounded already. Hopefully that goes away quickly. Good. Fantastic. We lose the trait of Wounded already. Wonderful. You do not want to keep that lying around. Being wounded at this time is... anything can turn into a death sentence, basically. You do not want to keep a wound on your character for too long. Sorry, I forgot I was paused. I do that often. You'll find that out over the course of the game. While we're waiting over there for the situation in England to calm down, the Grand Hunt is over for now. We gain another 10 prestige. Fantastic. Let's take a look at the situation in Spain. Zamora here is attempting to rebel against Leon. Zamora is being led by Princess Urraca, who is Leon's sister. Castile and Galicia are also Leon's brothers. And should any of them die, the other king will take over their territory. They're kind of each other's heirs. It's how their father set up the succession. Not a very good idea, if I do say so myself. But what do I know? Okay. A book without a title was pushed into my hands by a hooded man clad in midnight blue. Something was said, but lost in the confusion. The book was still there. We can say, hey, wait, gain 20 piety, piety, and intense study of the book will follow. Or we can say it wants me to read it and gain illumination until the end of the game, gaining 0.05 prestige and 0.05 piety monthly. I'm going to go ahead and study the book. because I want to see where this takes me. I think I know where it takes me, but I want to go ahead and show you guys where it takes me. So we immediately gained 20 piety. We're up to 51 now. Yep, I was right. William is attacking the English capital. The secret within the book still eluded me after several weeks of intense study, wasted time, and wasted ink. The man couldn't be anything but a maniac, filling precious parchment with malarkey and incomprehensive symbols. But I learned to love books instead. So we gained the trait of Scholar. Scholar here gives us +2 learning. Fantastic. Harald is attacking Leicester now, while Duke William focuses on Middlesex, and Harald is also attacking Chester. What else we got going on over here? Anything in France? No? Okay. My liege, may you live in harmony and contentment. I have discovered a plot where Donald Dunkeld seeks to kill King Malcolm III of Scotland. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Donald here is my brother, and Donald is pissed off that he's not going to be able to get the throne because when I die, my children will take the throne, and his children will not. So he's automatically pissed at me. He's also a pretender to the throne because my 2 sons are the heir and the first pretender. He is the second, so he's also pissed at me from that. So we can attempt to imprison him and have a 69% chance of success based on our intrigue. And since he is the leader of a plot, no one will object if we try to do so. Or we can ask him to end his plot, and we apparently have the chance to for him to say yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The reason I do that rather than imprison him is because he is a close member of my dynasty. Should I die and should my children die, I will be playing as him. So I don't want to end the life of one of my dynasty members, but if it wasn't from somebody from my dynasty, they'd be dead, or at least in prison, and soon to be dead. But hopefully he'll just say, yes, okay. Dear brother, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. Your demand is just. My scheming was obviously misdirected. I hope you'll find it in you to forgive me. Of course I do. I forgive you. Don't kill me, bro. Just don't kill me, bro. Okay. When it hits May, we'll be able to have our first fair. Hopefully. William is still working on Middlesex. Norway is not sieging anything right now. I wonder if Harold's army managed to get at him. Hasn't lost anybody yet. We want to keep an eye on England because of what the implications of politics will be. There's Norway right there and Leicester again. Should William be successful, he will have to deal with a bunch of nobles rebelling against him. Should Harold of England be successful, he will also be dealing with the same nobles. I have yet to see Norway win, but if Norway won England, I'd be pretty pissed because he's already pretty powerful and he has some of my territory and I want it back. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a fair, shall we? I have given the order that a summer fair should be held in Gowrie this summer. This should make the peasants happy. Most of the time it doesn't, but it should. So William has fully conquered Middlesex here. He's moved on to Northampton. See. The local nobles of Gowrie complain that too many peasants are entering the city during the summer fair. We can tell them to accept the peasants, in which case our mayor is pissed off at us, which we do not want. Or we can restrict the peasants' access to the city and gain a plus 10% local revolt risk for 2 years. At this point, I want the vassals on my side, so I'm going to go ahead and take the revolt risk. just because I need opinion to be with me if I'm going to be able to enact certain laws. Like, for example, I want to institute low crown authority. I need to have vassals on my side in order for that to happen. Norway is sending us some troops, but so is England now with a levy. Same happening here. I'm going to go ahead and restrict the peasants' access. Luckily, the effect is not double. It's still just the plus 10% chance. What do we got going on in the Holy Roman Empire? No, let's check Italy here. Oh, the peddlers are loading their wares and the merchants are taking down their stalls. We get 10 prestige and the summer fair has been finished. Can we have another one? No, we cannot. We must wait for a grand hunt, which will happen in September. Holy Roman Empire. We also have Hungary, Poland, Croatia, the Byzantine Empire. It's going to be dealing with a lot of threats from the Muslim world. Nubia down here is having a rebellion. Okay. Blessings upon you and your house. I have discovered a plot where Elspeth de Fortingall seeks to kill Prince Duncan of Scotland. So this person right here wants to kill my son. My heir. Let's go ahead and get to diplomacy. Most of the time, if I can get them to end their plot, I will say end their plot, and nothing will happen. But I have an 80% chance of imprisoning her too. Does she have any money? No. So it's pretty much useless to imprison her because I cannot ransom her. So end your plot, woman. All right. Duke Goodrod here is having a rebellion on his hands. Rebels are good for me, especially when they're in other people's territory. So he gets to have fun. Peace be with you. Your demand is just. My scheming was obviously misdirected. I hope you will find it in you to forgive me. Once again, I forgive you. Don't kill my son, woman. We have a message. Margaret of Wessex has died at the age of 22. But she was ill. So it came to pass like that. Like I said, if you lose health like that, you do have a way bigger chance of you dying. She does have a sibling who works for the King of England. Okay, the wooden palisade has been built in Scone. I only have 37 gold, so I can't build anything else just yet. But it's now the 1st of September. Let's go ahead and go on a grand hunt. Once again, I will end this video with the new year. Okay, a white hart have been seen in the north of Gowrie. I am told it is a hart of 10 and the biggest deer ever seen. We can say we find no joy in killing such a proud animal and gain 25 piety. We can send out Earl Dub to go ahead and hunt it, gaining 15 opinion with him. Or we can say this is my kill and get bloodlust until November and 15 prestige. Opinion is more important right now, like I keep mentioning before. So we're going to go ahead and have Earl Dub go ahead and take care of that for us. His opinion of us goes up by 15 to 58 now. So Duke William is focusing on Northampton, while Harald is sieging in Wiltshire and Devon, I think, as well. Our hunting party has cornered a large bear. We will say just solve it already, because once again, I do not want the chance to get wounded. Bad idea. The grand hunt is over. We gain 10 prestige, and we shall do it again. I will find the white stag. King Harald is sieging Cornwall. Old man, 52 years old. Die already. So this guy was trying to fight the rebels, but he is getting his ass kicked by them. So that's not going to happen. He's also got a heretic stronghold there. Really? It's Catholic for now, at least. So we can gain 10 prestige because the Grand Hunt is over. And we will just go ahead and get 5 prestige from that. So the dogs have caught scent of a boar in my forest. This is the chance of getting a mighty boar slain. We can gain 5 prestige by sending the peasants off to finish it, but a 30% chance of getting craven. Or we can say that I will face it alone with my spear, and get a 5% chance of getting the trait of wounded, and getting Master Hunter for 2 years. I'm going to go ahead and click the spear one, and this game better not screw me once again. 2 5% chances in a row, and I get them both. I don't understand. I don't understand, game. And now we cannot have a feast because I am wounded. And you cannot have a feast if you are wounded. Oh, yes you can. Feast time! I have given the order for a great feast to be hosted in Gowrie. Let the preparations begin. God damn it, game. 2 5% chances, and I hit them both. No feast is complete without boar meat. Who will get the prestigious task of hunting and slaying the boars needed for the feast? Well, I'm wounded, so I'm not going out there again. We're going to go ahead and send the Earl Marshal Dub, or Marshal Earl Dub. Everyone was talking about the musicians, and I can finally have some time off from the preparation of the feast, so I can see what my own eyes and ears were. I can see with my own eyes and hear with my own ears what people were talking about. The musicians were good, and they were looking for a patron. So we'll go ahead and offer our patronage to them. All for the benefit of our feast. Yeah, it's still Catholic there. Okay. He's going to try and merge his armies and then go after the rebels there. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what foodstuffs to serve. I must purchase venison, boar and duck, spices, wine and ale, honey for the desserts, cheeses, and perhaps even a swan or peacock. I will spend lavishly on food. We can also have the choice of spending as we need on food and spending not much at all on food. Most of the preparations for the feast have been made. Now I only have to send out the invitations. So we invite everyone. Sometimes a vassal may say no, and in which case we would get pissed off at them. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I'll actually stop the video once we have our feast. The guests have finally arrived. All is ready. The cooks have worked day and night preparing the food, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast. So nobody declined our invitation. They're all here for my free food and drink. Those bastards. The musicians played and my guests danced. I made sure I danced with several different persons, and I think we all had great fun. We gained 10 prestige, and this guy greatly approves of the musicians. I do not want him to approve. I want to take his title. God damn it. Okay. You're gonna die, buddy. I can't have you around. Sorry, bro. Survival of the fittest. So Duke William is focusing on Bedford now. The last of the guests have returned home, and everyone agreed it was this year's greatest feast. So we gain 20 prestige, and everyone leaves. And that is it for this video session. I'm going to go ahead and wait for February 1st. Okay. So, couple minor setbacks. I've been wounded twice. I still have the wound from the last one. We are slowly gaining back our prestige that I've already spent on a wife. And we are waiting to see what our children are going to be looking like in 5 years. So stay tuned. We'll find out some more. But that's next time on Let's Play Crusader Kings. Until then, this is J Square John Jeremy signing off, saying so long and take care.